For today, we're playing Silent Hill 2 Remake and with the RTX 3080. I'm playing it at 1080p at the max settings. Here we go with that. Again, 1080p, got RT enabled as well. And going to advanced, there we go. This is the max settings. Cool. See you guys in the game. Alright, for this one, I'm going to be spending most of the time at the start of the game, in the intro, because I would imagine that is the most intensive. And so far we're sitting at 40 to 50 FPS. I do have RT enabled as well, so don't forget. This game does look quite fantastic though. So yeah, 40 to 50 FPS isn't too bad for the intro. I would imagine it would go a bit higher, probably into the 60s in the city areas, or in the indoor sections. And we are playing at the max settings, native res with RT enabled. So obviously lowering the settings or using DLSS should give us a stable 60 at all times. So yeah, so far can't feel any stutters. Pretty good. We've got our save point here. The red square. Yep, still red as well. Nice. Alright, well, let's keep going. Okay, the VRAM is climbing up. It's at 8 gigs now instead of, what, like 6.5 before? And the game does stutter. Keep that in mind. At the start it was fine. But in this section, I can feel it happening far more. Weird sounds back there, but I'm sure... Ooh, there we go. Major FPS dip into the 40s there. That felt pretty awful, to be honest. Yeah, like every 20 seconds or 30 seconds, the game does slow down and stutter quite heavily. Falls down into the 40s. And that does feel pretty awful, guys. Here we go. This game looks fantastic, though. This game looks absolutely gorgeous, even at 1080p. It's pretty crazy how this game is a PS2 game from 2001. In 2001, I was playing on a PS1. Playing Crash Bandicoot and Spider-Man. Some racing games. I got my PS2 in 2003, I think, and even then I was playing like Need for Speed, GTA, and all of them, so I didn't play this on the PS2. There we go. Once we leave the little forest thing, we are sitting at near 70. It's the mid to high 60s, but the stutters are still here. It fell down into, oh, there we go again, into the mid 40s and the high 50s. The fog does look great though. This looks fantastic, to be honest. I think for this one, I'm going to keep RT enabled the entire way through. My card only has 10 gigs of VRAM, so if that becomes an issue, then I will disable RT. But so far, it is playing quite well, and the VRAM is at 8 gigs, so we have headroom there. 30 FPS cutscenes though, I don't know. That looks... It kind of looks bad, to be honest, but it's not a big deal. On my first playthrough of this game, I was lost in this city, just going around every path, and everything is just locked for me. This is obviously different, so I'm guessing the path will be different to the main game. Alright, blocked off there. Man, these reflections look fantastic though. Look so nice. I love it. But again, the stutters are super inconsistent for me. I might cap the FPS here and just see what happens. New cutscene. Okay, actually, I will pause the game here, guys, and enable DLSS first, and then cap the FPS afterwards. So, let's enable DLSS, which would be right here. So DLSS, and at the quality preset, and let's try it again. So we had again 40 to 50 FPS at the start, and 60 to 70 FPS in the city. So we need around a 20 FPS headroom pretty much for those heavier scenes, which with DLSS should be doable. Wow, so far this looks fantastic. It is as sharp as before. This looks great. Right path? Okay, it does look like it. We are at 90 FPS now instead of, what, 70 from before? Or 80 FPS from before? What's this?
What is this?
That's what I'm saying. What is that? Okay, the road does look worse here, actually, with DLSS active. Looks very grainy. Yeah. I mean, not a huge deal, to be honest. It's still playable, of course, and it does look good enough. But it's not as good as before, like I said. There we go, started there. Okay, this game's already freaking me out, dude. I wasn't too scared of the OG game on the PS2. This game is kind of freaky because it's a closer camera, so I can't see as much. Okay, 440p. I will disable DLSS for now, but I'll come back to it. And at the max settings with RT active. So there we go. There we go, 30 FPS, just barely holding on. But this game looks absolutely gorgeous. Wow, 440p native looks incredible. It is just so sharp. But the FPS is awful. Yeah, moving the camera, falls even lower into the mid to high 20s pretty much. I am playing on keyboard and mouse, so maybe on a controller it will feel better, but yeah, on keyboard and mouse this does feel pretty awful at 30 or below it even, like mid 20s there. So with DLSS we should be able to get near 60 in the city areas and probably 40 to 50 again at the intro of the game. But man, the game does look fantastic. I think it's on par with Alan Wake 2 for me. Now, one question about this game for you guys. Did Sony pay them to delay it on Xbox? Or was it an issue with the Series S? Because again, this game is delayed by a whole year on Xbox. So we have it on PlayStation and PC day one, and Xbox users have to wait a full year, which is kind of crazy. And if Sony paid for that, that's pretty scummy, I would say. But yeah, currently this preset is pretty mid on keyboard and mouse. Feels very sluggish to me. But on controller, it does feel pretty good actually. So if you don't like DLSS, use a controller and the game will feel a bit better. Right, in the city we're sitting at the low 50s now and the high 40s with the same stutters as before. So yeah, let's back out, enable DLSS and try it again. For this one I'm going to guess near 60 at the start, or 50 FPS at the start, and 60 FPS in the town. Here we go. Gonna skip the cutscenes like always. And wow, actually 60 FPS at the start. That is fantastic, guys. 60 there we go, 50 FPS like expected. High 40s and the low 50s here. Not too bad though. I think I'm fine with that. I think 50 FPS at the max settings with RT active is pretty good. So for me, I think I'm playing at 440p ultra settings with RT active, or the max settings with RT active. But yeah, around 70 to 80 FPS with DLSS, and heavier scenes into the low 50s and the low 60s. Again, the game does stutter, keep that in mind, but other than that, it does play quite well. So yeah, let's pause it here guys, play at 4K, same settings hopefully, and see how the game goes there. Playing at 4K, I will go ahead and keep DLSS active, because beforehand we had like 30 FPS to 40 FPS at native 1440p, so for 4K, it's going to be a hard time without it. Man, the game looks gorgeous. I don't know, 4K looks great. It is even sharper than before. And FPS wise, at the start we're sitting at the mid 30s and the low 40s, which is not too bad on the controller. And going into the city, we're climbing up into the 50s now, almost the 60s. Pretty close to it. And there it is, 60 FPS. I'm sure the stutters will be an issue for a lot of people, but for me, not a big deal to be honest. So I'm pretty happy with this. Last test, let's go ahead and disable RT and see how we go with that as well. And with no RT, we're sitting at near 60, which is much better. So if you're not a fan of it, disable it and get the extra performance. So yeah, that's pretty much it guys. That is Silent Hill 2 on the RTX 3080. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Next video. See you guys there.